Water, the world's most precious resource, essential to life. Throughout history, the availability of water has determined where human populations have thrived. Today, some of the most critical challenges facing humanity relate to water management. Millions of people each year, mostly children, die from preventable diseases associated with inadequate supply of clean, potable water and access to sanitation. Water scarcity and drought, worsened by the effects of climate change, affect the lives of millions around the world. Each continent, each country and each community faces unique challenges to ensure they have enough clean water to go around. And this is one of the key issues that the world leaders will discuss during the Rio+20 summit. As part of the worldwide SCEnaRioS project, groups of young people in Singapore, China and Australia have come together to research the water issues in their local areas and to share their knowledge, ideas and aspirations together via a series of video conference sessions. The SCEnaRioS Water and Life pilot project is a partnership between Questacon, Australia's National Science and Technology Centre, Guangdong Science Centre in China and Science Centre Singapore. In China, 6 groups of students from leading secondary schools have conducted in-depth research projects covering a range of water topics. Their projects have focused around water issues in the city of Guangzhou and wider Guangdong province in southern China. Each student group has undertaken extensive research, conducted field trips, public surveys, consulted with local scientists and government representatives, and undergone rigorous examination on their findings, just like professional scientists. Project topics have included investigating the impacts of increasing urbanisation on the sustainability of the water supply, exploring the impacts that clean-up efforts in water channels has had on the local people.
因為我哋細泉係做馬蹄粉嘅，必須要用水嚟做嘅，所以點解要喺涌，即係喺河涌邊住嘅時候有一種關於我爺嗰個文化要做嗰個小生意變成係要咁樣住喺呢度。
Other student groups' projects involved investigating new options for water supply for households and schools in the area, investigating ways to turn sewage sludge, a product of wastewater treatment and major pollutant, into useful products, such as a substrate for growing turf, measuring the effect of fluorine pollution on underground water supplies and devising filtering solutions, developing mathematical models to help quantify and communicate pollution levels in drinking water supplies. In Singapore, the students involved are from the Singapore Academy of Young Engineers and Scientists, a science club based at the Science Centre Singapore. This group has researched Singapore's water supply, both past and present, undertaking field trips to the Marina Barrage, which forms Singapore's newest water reservoir. They have looked at Singapore's so-called 4 national taps and investigated the sustainability of Singapore's main water supply sources. The group conducted a survey into Singaporeans' household water consumption habits and public attitudes to water conservation. They have also conducted a major investigation into the acceptance by the Singaporean public of the introduction of reclaimed water into Singapore's drinking water supplies. To challenge a commonly held public perception about Singapore's reclaimed water product, New Water, the students conducted blind tastings of New Water against common brands of bottled mineral water. They held public taste testing sessions both in the Science Centre and at a World Water Day event. Their results showed that, despite public perceptions to the contrary, most people could not identify New Water by taste. In Australia, 2 groups of students were involved from Canberra and Adelaide, cities situated at opposite ends of the country's largest river catchment, the Murray-Darling Basin. This has brought to the project differing perspectives on water issues in Australia. The group from Adelaide looked into the long-term security of their city's water supply, which faces a number of challenges, including low rainfall and a hot climate. The students concluded that community awareness about the importance of conserving water could be higher amongst Adelaide residents. To try to improve this, the students undertook some education and awareness-raising activities with the primary students at their school. In Canberra, the students looked into water usage in their school, where water was being wasted and how water efficiency could be improved. They looked at the results of a water audit that had been done at the school some years ago and found that, while some improvements had been made, there was more the students could do to make their school more water-wise. Over the course of the SCEnaRioS project, the students have discussed these issues, shared their progress, findings and ideas for the future through a series of 3 video conferences.
Welcome to the SCEnaRioS video conference. It's great to see you all there in Guangdong in China, in the Science Centre Singapore, and to the girls from Loreto College in Adelaide.
The SCEnaRioS project has broadened the students' horizons and opened their eyes to the idea that, whilst each community may face different challenges, the students share a common perspective that they, the young people of today, hold the future in their hands. It is their ideas for solutions and youthful enthusiasm that can help shape a better world for tomorrow.
I like this project not because it is easy, but it is hard. I believe we can make it. I believe we can do it well.
During the course of the SCEnaRio project, I've enjoyed working together with people from all over the world trying to solve one problem: water security. I've also enjoyed learning about how different countries care and use their water and the different problems and solutions they have to water security. My favourite part has been the collaboration with people from all over the world using video conferencing.
It's also a good chance to share my ideas and works with other students from other countries, and the whole period is very interesting.
We got to interact with the other countries to see what are their water issues like, instead of just investigating the water issues in Singapore. So we have learned a lot about the water issues in other countries, and we learned that different problems do need different solutions, especially in different contexts.
The SCEnaRioS project has highlighted the role that science centres can play in bringing young people together from across the world, engaging them in conversations about important science-based issues.
Science Centre Singapore is very happy and honoured to be part of this project for our students to take part in a 3-party discussion involving Guangdong Science Centre and Questacon. And it's very good for our students to engage themselves in such an international collaboration, especially when they are discussing on a topic that is not close only to our present time, but close to the future's challenges. And for them to come to understanding how to deal with water resource management, it's something that will have long-lasting impact. Because after all, the youth will inherit the biosphere, and in future they have to face the tougher challenge that we face now in this current time. So this collaboration for the SCEnaRio project is indeed very meaningful and very impactful.
广东科学中心非常荣幸参与这次聚焦里约水资源保护青少年实践活动项目。我们非常高兴地看到，通过这个实践项目，来自中国、新加坡、澳大利亚3国的青少年学生就地球的水资源保护的话题呢，进行了有兴趣的这种交流和探讨。孩子们呢，分享了，而且尝试着在思考未来水资源保护方面的一些理念和方案。广东科学中心呢，作为亚洲地区最大的科学中心之一，一直致力于广大公众，特别是青少年，对我们人类生存环境和地球资源保护方面的这个兴趣和话题。
Questacon thought it was very important to become involved in the SCEnaRioS project because science centres play a very important role in facilitating conversations between young people. And the opportunity to have conversations across international boundaries was one that was very important. And all of the countries involved, here in Australia, in Singapore and China, all have issues around the theme of water. So it was very, very relevant for us to create the opportunities for young people to talk about water from their own perspective.
In 1992, 12-year-old Seven Suzuki called for world leaders assembled at the UN Earth Summit to listen to young people's concerns for the world, the environment and the future. 20 years on, at Rio+20, the voice of youth is just as important.
People often forget that we're part of the now and the future, so our voices do need to be heard and are increasingly done so, and I think it's great that SCEnaRioS taking on this initiative to really engage with the youth.
We feel that the young are the owners of the future and we will inherit the world. We, as the young generation, we might have new perspectives and fresh ideas about the world, so we might come up with much better ideas.
I want to that we can insist on 3 principles. The first one is no waste, and the second one is fairly, the third one is peacefully.
The students involved in the SCEnaRioS projects from around the world have added their voices to the conversations about these important issues for our planet. It is their turn to tell us, and the leaders at Rio+20, that this is the future they want.